Here's some more music for your ears. You can earn 40,000 membership rewards points with American Express Green after spending $2,000 on your card in your first 6 months of card membership. What's more, you can even split up purchases of $100 or more into equal monthly installments with a fixed fee, thanks to Planet. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-green. Offer available to new card members. Terms apply.
Like I said.
Like I said.
It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee Show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a throw-up actor, Kevin D. Bitten. 360 twice, Jim, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee Warren. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking foreign. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners, why you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on, Nikee Nerd. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing, me and Kevin Goons, and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You other stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino, R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy, pop like Simi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin, Nikee.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What song? Yeah, what song was that? That was a rap song.
Can't you see Toto?
Yeah. All right, so we are back.
Oh, no, not Can't You See. I don't need no one else.
I don't need no one else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go again?
It goes.
Yeah. That's what's that.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back. We are back. We are back. We're back for another exciting show. Another exciting week. Always another exciting guest.
Yes.
On the Kevin and Nikee Show.
On the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah. I'm actor Kevin D. Benton.
And I'm actress Nikee Warren.
And we are back.
Yeah. And what a fabulous week we had.
Man,
it was fabulous. It was off the chain. What a fabulous week we had. Man, we can't wait to get into it.
Look, let's jump right on into it then.
Yeah.
All right, so with that being said, you heard Nikee. It's time for the mini adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
There it is.
All right, Nick, look, let's jump into it. Go ahead.
I am rolling on a high vibration.
High vibrations only. High vibrations only.
Man, it was a fabulous weekend, man. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know. You go ahead. I'm just so excited.
we just doing what we do.
Yeah.
In the journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was an awesome journey.
Yeah, just doing what we do, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, along the journey. So, so we had to make our way back to the NY to the C to go get our acting education. And we had a great session, man. It was very awesome. Nikee and I did a great job. And listen, I believe in giving honor where honor is due.
Aww,
I'm an actor. I don't care how many awards I win. I want to get better every day. But I'm also a fan. Yeah. I'm a fan of good acting, and I'm a fan of actors. Yeah. And I'm a fan of good work. Yeah. I'm a fan of good teaching, and I'm a fan of good work. And so Nikee and I had to do a scene, and we did a great job. We knew our lines, and of course, we were giving critique, because that's what awesome and great teachers do. They give critique to make it even better. Every time we did the scene, it got better and better and better. But our awesome teacher, gave Nikee an adjustment, and it was an adjustment on the fly. Now, listen, I knew she was talented. I already knew that, but I had the chance to see that she's a talent that can take it to another level when prompted, when asked, or when she has to. So Nikee had more lines than I did. She had paragraphs. I mean, she had at least 3 to 4 paragraphs, and these paragraphs were huge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had my little one-liners that she had a paragraph. And so the character that she had to play was kind of like a ditzy type, airhead type of woman, which caused for her to have to speed up the line. Somebody talking real fast, kind of, you might have seen Coming to America when Eddie Murphy was in the bar scene, and the light-skinned girl was like, I want to be an actor, and then I want to go to grad school, and then I want to do this, and I think I can do this, and that was the character that Nikee had to portray. So she had to take lines that she remembered and had to memorize, and she had to speed it up like that. And let me tell y'all, gang, she crushed it on the first take and got the lines right. It's difficult enough to have to learn lines and make it believable, but to have to learn lines, make it believable, and add the personality that was expected, it was truly, truly phenomenal, because a lot of actors can't do that. It's like shifting on the fly. And to have to speed up those lines like that, I mean, she did a phenomenal job. And it helped me bring out my lines better, because I had to react. The acting, it's not acting, it's reacting and responding. So I had to respond to her being ditzy and talking real fast, and it really brought out my emotion. And it made it easy for me, man. So I believe in giving honor and shout out. So you know what?
Thank you, Kev.
You get the bell, Nick.
Well, I'm going to flip it right back and give you the bell. Because we've been studying and studying and studying. We've been on the phone studying, going back and forth, reading back and forth, passing it back and forth. And when we went to our acting coach over the weekend, he was like, okay, y'all just made my job a lot easier. Now I can block.
I can do my job.
Yeah, he was like, I can do my job. I can do my job. Because we prepared ourselves.
We prepared.
And we helped each other. Right. Like Kev helped me with the timing. There's 2 lines where there's 2 conversations that we have where I have to cut them off. And he helped me get the cut off, and it was good. I was a little skeptical about it, but he said it was good, so it was good. And is one thing, because the instructor didn't say nothing.
Yeah, he sure didn't.
So I'm like, okay, he didn't say anything.
So that means that it worked. You know what I'm saying?
But with the talking fast, I kind of had the feeling that the character talked fast, but I didn't know she talked like that.
Yeah, you had to talk really, really fast.
I mean, super fast.
But here's the thing. What I'm trying to get our listeners to understand, it's one thing to have to speed up the lines and talk fast, but you have to be believable. And then you were doing gestures. You know how like a ditzy character would be twirling their hair, and I just want to get it. And really, I was like, and you would waving your head back and forth, and to add those gestures along with speeding up the line, that was very, very difficult. It was very, very advanced, and it speaks to the hard work and preparation that you put in and that we put in, studying for hours, as we learned in when we were taking class with Nikee Diller. Kamal Bostic Smith said, the work of the actor is done where? Outside the classroom. Yep.
I'm going to tell you one thing. because our instructor want us to do this live.
Right.
I'm going to drink plenty of tea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's I make sure my vocal cords are lubricated. No, I'm not singing, but you still have to lubricate the cords so you don't dry out.
Right.
So
And do the jaw exercises so you can, because some of the pronunciation of the words, you know, like you had, instead of saying exuberant, you had to say exuberant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was saying it wrong.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
So to give you an idea of what it sounds like this.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds
That's
like.
exactly what it sounds
Just like that.
But it makes sense.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to her. How about that?
Yeah, it makes sense. But the thing about it is you could understand what you were saying.
Yeah.
You could really, really understand because you were giving me what I needed to react to, whether it was my facial expressions or, man, like giving that facial expression, like, what is she talking about? Why is she talking so fast? I didn't ask her that question. You know what I'm saying?
You got to do my favorite line.
What's that?
You know my favorite line. Okay, now wait. That one. That's my favorite.
Okay, you know what? Let's try something else. What is your name?
That is my favorite line. Okay, now you know what? He was getting fed up with me.
You know what? Yeah, so
I love
great.
it.
That was
that's
great.
one of Kev's lines, and that's the line where I'm not helping him out whatsoever. I'm ditzy. I'm talking really fast. He's like, you know what?
Yeah,
let's
try something.
He getting fed up.
Yeah, man. So it was great. We had a great time, and it's just been great. You know, making this journey more exciting by investing into our acting, our craft.
Yes.
It's been fun learning, and we're looking forward to more. And we'll be keeping you guys, you know, posted on, you know, more adventures as it pertains to that. And we want to encourage you. And you know, this is what you want to do. Invest in your craft. Invest in your craft, man, and
have fun.
And have fun doing it.
Have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Have fun doing it. I mean, if you don't put no fun into it, it's going to feel like a chore.
A chore, yeah.
But you don't want to feel it like a chore.
That's right.
You know, have fun with it. Like we had fun in class. We were cracking up.
Yeah, but getting the job done.
Yeah, getting the job done. Kev over in the corner giving me thumbs up.
I was giving you thumbs up because I had to walk in, so I was behind the wall.
Yeah,
I'm giving you the thumbs up because it really turned out well. And so we're looking forward to part 2.
Yes, we are.
And then we're looking forward to putting it all together.
And
then putting it on Showcase. So,
yes.
What else we had going on?
Oh.
So I had
You had a table read / lesson.
It was a table read. It was more like a lecture.
Yeah. Acting lecture.
Yeah, it was like an acting lecture for a feature film, SAG feature film. Got to give a shout out to Mr. Mel, who tore down the place with his information. He hit us with some awesome information about acting. I was there taking notes.
Yeah,
I took about 2.5 pages of notes. Channel 6 was there. Shout out to Diva Gordon. Yeah. Shout out to Ty Birch.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kai Sim, who did an excellent job in Carla Robinson's stage play, Uptown. He played the role of Georgie Woods. He killed it, man. So I want to give a shout out to him. And but Mr. Mel, as we were saying, church, slayed us. He slayed us, man.
Yes.
He laid out some pertinent information, man. And
he's very good.
He's very good. Yeah. He's the best of the best. He's the best of the best. And I'm telling you, after the session was over, everybody was up there getting business cards, you know, just asking questions about how they can, you know, potentially take his classes and stuff like that. But he laid out some information that, I mean, he took us back to organic acting that began in the theater. And he laid out various different differentiations between film, videos, theater, and just the nuances. And the smallest things make the biggest difference. And looking forward to continuously working with them and learning and growing and development. So that was great, man. Yeah.
And then you had to submit some things.
Man, I got a call. Well, I'm believing I already got it. So because I try to be a man of my word, my buddy Dave Sheridan. Yeah. He shared a casting notice with me, and I told him, when I get cast, I'm going to give you a shout-out on the radio. Yeah. So I got the call from the major casting network. Yeah. I got a call from the CEO of the major casting network, who was very interested in having me be a part of this project. I had, I had a relationship. I built a relationship with them because I had been on previous, projects with them as well. Major television show in the past, and once again, as me and Nikee talk about, this is a relationship-driven business.
Yes.
People remember. They remember when you said thank you. They remember when you showed up on time. They remember when you followed directions. They remember when you showed your appreciation and all those things. And I got the call from the CEO of a major casting network on the East Coast, doing major TV and film, and they want me to be a part of this photo shoot involving a famous NBA player. And they didn't tell me.
Okay.
So, but I gotta give a shout out to my photographer, because what they asked me was they wanted me to take a shoulder length and up picture and then a full body and stuff like that. So I, put on my basketball gear and we went outside, took my famous photographer with me, Nikee.
Yes.
Nikee Warren. And she took the pictures and they turned out very great.
Yeah, they are some very nice
they
photographs.
Took out, and I took some posing with the basketball under my foot, on the side of my hip, that kind of thing. And it turned out well. It turned out very well. So I was really appreciative, and I told her, you take great pictures. You're all multi-talented and stuff.
How I got
you know what I'm saying? You DJ, you take pictures, radio shows, multi-talented actors,
take pictures in just one
she
show.
can sing, rap, dance in just one show.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So it was yet another productive weekend.
Yes, it was.
Yet another productive
very good weekend indeed.
Yes.
Very good weekend indeed.
Yeah.
And it's just, man,
and we're going to keep it rolling, because we got some stuff coming up next week.
We do.
We got Mike Marino's show, celebrity comedian that we had on the show last week.
Yep.
And,
we got his show next week.
Yeah, we're going to his show, and it's going to be hosted by Gary Pastore, who we had on the show, I want to say the week before that. Or maybe 2 weeks before that, before Mr. Mel, right?
Yeah, before Mr. Mel.
So,
actually, is it on Friday this week?
It's this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, it's this upcoming Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thank God, man, for not only the journey, but the things that come out of the journey. I mean, we both know that sometimes this journey can be discouraging. You talk about the bottom part of that iceberg. We talk about that all the time. But there are a lot of positives that come out of this in terms of sharing your experience and your journeys with your family and true friends, award shows, building relationships with people to the point where they're inviting you to their premieres, their comedy shows, and giving you tickets, and you get to sit in front. So it's great, man.
Okay.
It's great. And we don't take it for granted.
That's right. But while you are operating on the bottom of that iceberg, have some faith. Keep the faith. Stay prayed up, and enjoy your journey while you're trying to get to the top of the iceberg.
That's right.
That's the difference.
And stay at the top of the iceberg.
Yeah, and stay at the top of the iceberg, but enjoy your journey to get there. Yeah. Don't let that depression set in so quickly. Right. Stay focused. Keep God first, and you'll be rising to the top before you even know it.
Yeah. It's interesting, man, because people say of me and Nikee, Kevin and Nikee is in, quote unquote, for lack of a better phrase and a lack of a better way of saying it, in everything. So I had one of my friends inbox me, and they were asking me, you're in a lot of stuff. What's the secret? And I'm going to share with y'all the secret. And it may not be what you want to hear, or at least not the beginning part of it, but I'm going to share the secret as to why Nikee and I are, quote unquote, in everything. It's because we give. That's right. It's because we give and we help. That's right. You know what I mean? And what my instruction to her was give, submit, audition. And because you have exercised the principle of giving, when you go into that audition, favor is waiting for you.
That's right.
Favor with the director. Favor with the writer. You know what I'm saying?
There.
That's people are looking, then at the end of that, I'll tell you the websites that we go to and that you submit, the Facebook, the film.org, the Mike Lemon, the Harry Casting, and so forth and so on. But it begins with exercising the principle of giving and helping. That's it. That's it right there. That's it. And if you do that, but the key is you have to give, it has to be pure from your heart. Yes. Like you have to really want to help somebody else. Yes. For that boomerang of what goes around comes around for good reasons to come back. Because there is a such thing as good karma. It is. And I believe that. Yeah. We always talk about karma in a negative sense. Right. It's good karma. If you give, it'll come back. It's the principle of reaping and sowing. And if you reap good will come back to you. That's right. And one of the things I'm very
But you got to do it.
But you got to do it. And you got to do it from your heart. That's right. You can't say, I want to get something back, so let me give. You got to give because you really want to see the higher good of someone else. Right. Here's the key, even if you don't get it.
That's right.
The way to get challenging. Because they might get the blessing and you don't, and you have to be okay with that.
And you have to be
okay
with that. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. You have to be okay with that.
And you're okay with it because you understand that your understanding is my turn's coming.
Right.
Because I'm in the neighborhood of somebody else that's getting blessed.
And the other thing is, the other principle is you can't be jealous.
Yeah, right.
You cannot be jealous. If it looks like it's always raining on somebody, well, get underneath that umbrella.
Right.
So it can rain on you too.
That's
how you do. Get up underneath that umbrella. They say that all the time in church. Get up underneath that umbrella so that when it rains on them, it can pour on you.
That's right.
That's how you do it.
And that's what we tell people. And we're not negating the practical aspect of what we do. Yeah, you have to study your lines. You have to study your monologue. You have to prepare. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
But when you've given from your heart and you've helped others and you believe in that principle and you've prepared and you've studied and you've practiced and then you went to the websites and did all that, you know, it gives you a confidence. Not only because your preparation aids your effort, but you have confidence that good is going to come back to you because you dished it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I live by that.
Yeah.
I live by that. We live by that.
Yeah, we live by that.
And it doesn't mean that we're going to get cash every time. But out of 10, we at least get 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And good odds in the industry, if you get 3 out of 10, that's good odds in the industry. Right. And we're getting 6 and 7.
Right. And the main thing of this is that make sure this is what you want to do.
Right.
Because if it's not what you want to do, anything that we're saying is just going to go right over your head. It's not what you want to do.
Right.
Make sure it's something you want to do. You'll put your heart into it. You will study like we study about 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
each day. And that's together, not counting separate.
Yeah. Because we be studying, man.
You gotta prepare.
You have to prepare. Like we said, preparation begins at home.
Right.
If you don't put that time in, it's going to show.
Right. And also, when you have the passion for something, when you're facing that below the iceberg stuff, don't mean you're not going to get discouraged. Don't mean you're not going to feel like throwing in the towel. Don't mean you're not going to feel like giving up. But your passion for it is going to pull you through it.
Exactly.
And then it helps to have somebody that you can go the journey with. Because as Les said when we went on her show, normally it's no friends in this thing.
That's right.
But when you can find someone that you can go the journey with, there's no envy, there's no jealousy, there's no competition, and you help and support and encourage, and they're happy for you if you get it. Even if they don't, and the other one is happy for the other one, even if you don't get it. And then of course you get your stuff together.
Right.
You're gonna need, and then you need somebody to talk to about this stuff.
You sure do.
You're gonna need somebody to talk to about this industry because it can get rough.
Yes, it can.
And just
rough.
Focus on the positive. Focus on the above the iceberg stuff, as you hear Nikee talk about all the time, and enjoy the moment. Focus on the journey.
That's right. Yeah. And that's for anybody. You playing sports, you're writing a book, whatever you're doing, acting, focus on that journey.
Yep, that's it. So if you want to tell them where they can find us?
Man, I don't have the stuff written down. You do it way better than I do.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're going to try. We're going to try. Let's see what I can do.
You
all right.
So,
we want you guys to continue to follow us, continue to go with us, flow with us, show with us, grow with us. And, why do people like rhyme? They just got to rhyme. But anyway.
You always rhyme.
They got to rhyme, yeah. So, go to Amazon Prime. Check out The Right Path movie. AJ Franklin Films. We got Quaz Fraser. Man, they did a great job shooting this thing.
Yes, they
Nikee
did.
and I in it. And we're not playing, mom and pop roles in here. We like actually, slinging guns and doing other stuff. I get knocked out pretty much the whole movie, but it's pretty comedic for my character. Go check it out. You really enjoy that. Then we got we got the Covington Witches.
Witches.
Your girl over here is casting spells. They rolling eyes in the back of the head. Stuff is falling apart, falling off, and growing back. But she holding down the house. Keeping all the witches in place because you're the mama witch, right?
No, I'm the auntie.
You're the auntie witch, but you're the older one.
I'm the older one.
Okay.
Yeah, because the mother witch died.
Okay, so you taking over. So you kind of trying to hold her.
I'm taking over the coven.
The coven. Okay, so check that out on Amazon Prime. Then they got Single and Anxious. They got season 1, 2, and 3. I'm in season 3. I play Ronald, and a lot of lies, a lot of lust, a lot of love, a lot of drama going on. And
is that the one where you shooting dice in front of the church?
I played 2 characters. Yeah, I played 2 characters. I was gambling in front of the church, and then I played Ronald, this upstanding father who's trying to rear his daughter out of trouble.
But you ain't teaching her how to play dice.
I ain't teaching her how to play dice. Not that character. You know what I mean? So,
all right.
But what happened was I got delivered in front of the church, rolling the dice, and then I'm I'm trying to fix it, y'all.
I see you. You can't fix that. You already got caught by the church lady who came out and told y'all.
Boy, she was telling we was going to hell. And, you know, I mean, we shooting the movie. I don't care if y'all shooting the movie or not. You shouldn't be gambling in front of the church. You shouldn't be gambling for the God's house.
Heathen.
I know. And then my hat blew off and I had to run down the street and chase it. I said, this must be a sign. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. So, yeah. So, while you also on Amazon Prime, check out Revelation Blue. It's a story about a cop. He got to make some tough decisions. Do I do it the right way or wrong way? And where does faith play in this thing? Good acting, good storyline. You're going to really enjoy it. And then, while you're on Amazon Prime, check out Emergency Landing.
Yes.
This movie is going to depict what happens when things go wrong in relationship and they go good, bad, and sometimes ugly. You can check us out in that. And then what else we got on Amazon Prime? We got Mercy. It's a story about the killing of unarmed African Americans. It's not no cop bashing movie, no anger, no bitterness. It's just a great conversational piece about things that's going on in our society. And when you have the opportunity to take revenge or show mercy, what do? Do you show revenge or do you show mercy? Then head over to Stars. Check out Jason Letter, star-studded cast. Another movie about the killing of unarmed African Americans. And the solution that a grade school kid comes up by way of research and a research paper that would bring a solution that will cut down or eliminate the killing of unarmed.
That's a very good movie.
Yeah,
check
it out. It's real good conversational piece.
Yeah.
And the awesome writer director Terrence Takim, he did that. And what else we got?
Oh yeah, and we want to wish Terrence Takim a speedy recovery.
Oh yeah,
he was in the hospital, so we wish him well.
And Bob Charger.
Yeah, Bob Charger was in the hospital as well. Both of them friends to the show. So we want to make sure, that we shout them out. Get well soon.
Thoughts and prayers are with you.
That's right.
That's right. And then go over to YouTube, check out the multi-award winning The News and Honor. It's real good movies, man. A lot of drama. I like The News because it brings about that reality of how do you handle it when you get some not so good news? You know what I mean? And just like them basketball movies. Just like the basketball movies where the shot always goes in at the end. Yeah. It don't always go in at the end. It don't always go at the end. Yeah. So, and then go over to www.mulattocat.com. Check out what's going on. Keep up with the feature film Mulatto. I think that's about it. I think that's it. Did we cover everything? We covered everything. Yeah, we covered everything. Everything is everything. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a break? Yep. We're going to take a break. But before we do, man. Listen, we are excited about our special guest. She is a multi-talented, super talented screenwriter, author, and her particular bent is with urban fiction. She got her bachelor's degree at Indiana University and her master's of fine arts degree at Full Sail University. And you guys are going to be really, really excited about hearing about her journey in the industry, how she came to be a writer. Now she's a screenwriter and she's directing films. And these forthcoming films is hot. Don't go nowhere. We're going to find out about this series called Running with Wolves, the 3-part series, Wallflower 1 and 2, Efie, and much, much more. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we'll be right back.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand, or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, all you women and me.
Satisfy your sweet tooth with some tasty treats from the Brownie Shop. Fudge cupcakes, sweet potato pie, freshly baked bread, homemade ice cream, creamy chocolatey brownies, and much, much more. Check out their full menu on Facebook Brownie Shop or Brownie Shop 2019 Instagram. Get your next dessert from the Brownie Shop. Your sweet tooth will love you for it.
Urban Elite Beauty LLC is an online urban beauty supply store that serves both men and women in urban communities. Our goal is to provide quality beauty solutions for our culture and community. Most importantly, we want to instill in our friends the importance of loving thy hair, loving thy skin, and to love thyself. Check us out on social media on Facebook at Urban Elite Beauty, on Twitter at dbenton71, on Instagram at urban_elite_beauty, and for more information, go to our website at www.urbanelitebeauty.com or email founder and CEO David Benton at dbenton@urbanelitebeauty.com or call 609-217-5292. Check us out and see what the Urban Elite Beauty experience is all about. All right, so TJ Chester is into his house.
Yeah.
She's on the Lizine.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, you're so very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on our show.
That's right. So before we start, we always want to begin by just thanking our special guests for coming on the show. We know you guys are very, very busy. So thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing with us and our listeners. And I'm also sure that they're going to get something out of it.
Yes.
Those who are in the area of being an author, screenwriter, filmmaker, and much, much more. So thank you so much.
Yes.
You and your husband, y'all just a multi-talented couple.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Darrell A. Hervey, who we had on the show, and that show got some very, very good reviews.
Yes, it did.
People are very interested in taking some classes with them on theatrical weapons training, and so we gonna hook that up. You know what I mean?
We had the awesome opportunity of working with your husband. He tried to give me this little shishi poo-poo gun, but I wasn't having that. I told him to give me the big joker, so he had to give me the big gun.
Right. That's right. The short people always want the biggest gun.
Highly of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, look, we're going to jump right on into it.
Yes, let's jump right on in.
Great.
She's just like, great.
Great.
That's how you know you're famous when you just say one
line.
One word.
Great.
That's it. All right. So look, let's jump right on into it.
We're just going to jump right on into it, Miss Author, writer. You got so much going on. Tell our listeners. Let's start with start with film first.
Okay.
Tell our listeners a little bit about how you guys started in film.
Well, I would actually talk about the writing thing because that's how I got into film.
Oh, good. Let's go ahead. Let's do that.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I started out as a fiction author. I wrote my first book back in 2009.
Okay.
I started out just, reading urban fiction novels. I was so engrossed in them that it just didn't make any sense. So anyway, it wasn't until I got to college that I realized what my gift was.
Okay.
And people always ask me, how did I start writing? And I tell them, it was just a gift. everybody has a gift, and writing just so happened to be mine. So I kind of like fell into film.
Okay.
Writing for film.
Nice. Nice.
I didn't plan on it, but that's just what happened. Okay. And I just enjoy what I do.
Nice.
We have a lot going on. We got several projects that we've been working on. We are filming. Well, this is my directorial debut.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm filming my very first film. It's called Running with Wolves. It is my passion project. And I actually been working on this film for like the past 5 or 6 years or so.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and sometimes projects, they take that long, especially if you want to make it a good quality project. Yep, absolutely.
And you also need that support. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I feel like, one of the biggest barriers that emerging filmmakers face, especially Black women in particular, are limited access for funding and resources.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's taken me that long. I was a little bit frustrated at first. However, I feel like God is with me on this one because he wants it to be right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyway, so I'm working on my very first film. It's called Running with Wolves. It is led by 3 extremely powerful, talented females. These girls are on fire. The film, if I wanted to compare it to a different film, I would say Set It Off.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay.
And I compare it to Set It Off because, only really because they're women with guns.
Okay.
My movie is, people get that misconception that just because these girls have the attributes of the common criminals, that's what they are. However, Running with the Wolves is not your typical, I need money to get out of the hood movie.
Right, I got you.
They're not in an economic crisis.
Okay.
But although the movie is excessively violent, I didn't want it to appear, I didn't want it to mirror the image of the typical urban bank robbery film.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it is heavily layered. It encompasses love, liberation, revenge, redemption, mental health, just to name a few. These women have their own individual struggles, and these struggles are really what shape them. You know what I mean? And it's what drives the film forward.
Got you.
Nice.
So
awesome.
Nice. Did she say they robbing banks too?
Yeah, I heard about robbing banks.
Shucks, they robbing banks. Throw some of that cash my way.
I mean, like I said, you're multi-talented. Author. You got Efie. You got Wallflower 1, Wallflower 2, writer. You got Running with Wolves, and it appears that you represent woman empowerment. And it makes me think off the top of my head, the Ava DuVernays, the Bridget Smiths. You represent women empowerment. And I got to mention the T.J. Chesters in that category. Talk about what that means to you in this day and age, where they don't want to, sometimes women don't get the just due that they deserve. And a plethora of professions, and particularly in the filmmaking industry, the writing, being author. Talk a little bit about that woman empowerment component that spills from you into your work.
You know what? Oh my gosh. So talking about this really is it's close to my heart because I've had the toughest time getting to where I am today.
Okay.
And I see other women that does not have the same drive as I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like giving up for me is not an option.
She get the bell.
You get the bell. That's right. It's not an option.
That's it. We like to celebrate along the way. Yes. So we give you the bell. It's because you said something that resonated with everybody. But anyway, go ahead.
Man, I'm just like this tenacious individual. So for me, it's like when I get to where I want to go, I'm not gonna forget where I came from.
Right.
So for me, I'm going to help females get that with the same drive, with the same goals as I have. Nobody's helping me right now, just to let you know.
Got you.
Nobody is supporting me financially. My husband and I, we're coming out of pocket, and we're doing what we got to do to get this film done. So nobody's going to know like I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to give back. I'm going to give back to the film industry in general. I'm going to start my own scholarship fund just to help these women, and especially women of a particular age, women of color. The sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
beautiful. That's beautiful. Because as I hear you share what you've shared, I hear your, and I'm not Dr. Phil or anything like that.
Do you hear my passion?
That's what I was going to say. That's how I was going to start. I hear your passion.
Yep.
I also hear your frustration, but I hear your passion overriding the frustration. And it's coming from a place that's making you better and not bitter because you want to help others.
Right.
Because, like when people are going through frustrations and pain, it's going to make you do one or two things. Say, hey, nobody didn't help me, so I'm not helping nobody.
Right.
Or it's going to say, nobody didn't help me, so I'm going to help somebody.
Yeah.
And you are doing what you call getting tackled in football and falling forward. Because you're letting your journey and your struggles, they're empowering you along the way, but then you want to empower others, and we hear your strength. That's permeating through what you're sharing.
That's that iceberg.
Absolutely.
That's the iceberg.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That's awesome.
And yes, and when I say that nobody's helping me, nobody's on my side, I kind of separate God from that because he's the one that's there for me.
Right.
Right?
Well,
he's there.
Right. And I mean, we definitely understand. Just to put it in practical terms, God needs to use somebody. You know what I'm saying? Every time he did something in the Bible, he used a person. Because God told Moses, I think it was in one of the Bibles, he said, I'm going to deliver the children of Israel out of Pharaoh's hand. And Moses looked around like, cool, you go right on ahead. and God said, but I'm going to use you. So God is with us, but he is looking for some willing vessels that are willing to go into their pocket and say, hey, I want to support this financially. I want to invest in this, not just with the prayers, that too, but financially, or just like, radio shows like ourselves, putting it out in the highways and byways, and just hope that it will resonate. Your story and what you do will resonate with somebody's heart to say, hey, TJ, how can I support you financially so that you can get this project done?
Yeah.
So, absolutely. That's it.
But you know what? I have confidence that once I get this first project off the ground, that it's going to fund my next project.
Oh,
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so, like you said, your bent is the urban fiction.
Yeah.
Whether it's with your writing, with your books, and with your screenwriting. What was the particular, drawing to, say, writing about urban fiction?
Well, you know what? I think that the characters, the characters are a lot stronger. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like these girls that, for instance, the girls that are the leading ladies of Running with Wolves, they are a product of their environment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're a little bit rough around the edges. But unfortunately, it's a negative stigma attached to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Such as mental health, for one, because, us Black people, we don't talk about stuff like that. And the movie kind of, what I want to say, it displays all of that. You know what I mean? Even though these girls are robbing establishments, they still have their own personal issues. And I kind of affiliated that with the urban community.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Like you can be a criminal but still have redeeming qualities, or let me word it this way: you're carrying out criminal behaviors, but you can have redeeming qualities such that, I might get in trouble for saying this, you're going criminal behavior but you're not a criminal.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
See if that makes any sense. That's what it sounds like to me.
It does. Yeah. And I wanted the movie to visually speak out to the Black community. You know what I mean? About issues that we don't talk about.
Right.
So like I said, they're a product of their environment, and they got problems just like everybody else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's, you know, I mean, I think that's just so powerful because, I mean, when you think about the African-American community, and particularly the impoverished ones, where there's poverty, there's going to be high levels of crime.
Right.
There's going to be lower education, graduation rates. There's going to be lower jobs. It's like a plethora of issues that are going on stemming out of poverty. And it's almost one of them things where, and I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with this, how can you expect people to behave above what they only know?
Right.
How can you expect them to behave? And it's not that you're excusing antisocial behavior, but what you're doing is saying, wow, these women or these, you know, people in this African-American community are turning out this way because look at these predispositions they're being exposed to.
Yeah.
And that's a real issue going on in the African-American community. And how can I expect you to be, you know, a straight A student when you're going to subpar educational systems?
Absolutely.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I kind of hear that's coming out of your theme, and you're speaking to a very prevalent issue that's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Now these movies, this Running with Wolves, this thing sounds like it's going to be off the chain for real, and I can't wait to see.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
She said,
oh, it's hot. Yeah, I cannot wait. But listen,
it really is.
That's it. We believe you. Look.
I want to talk about casting because you know you got to have a certain person that you're looking for to bring out these roles. How did you go about casting your ladies for these roles?
Girl, I handpicked them.
Nice.
Okay.
It was hard. It was difficult because even like one of the girls, for instance, when I cast her, she was really good, but she still wasn't on the level of the character that I wanted her to portray.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I just basically, even though I'm not an acting coach, however, I coached all three of the girls.
Okay.
And got them to the point where I said, okay, they're ready.
Got you. So you spent some time with them coaching before you even gave them the script, right?
I spent a lot of time with them. And I don't know if you know, but we started casting in Atlanta.
Okay.
Because that's where we were living at the time. So the movie is inspired by my book series, Running with Wolves.
Right.
So the scene is here in Gary. So what we did was we moved the production.
Okay.
So because we could not recreate Gary in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
And I mean the people, down to the people.
Right, that's right. Yeah, so, that's true.
Right. So we had to come back this way. We came back to Gary, and we just cast everybody here.
Okay.
Because the girls that I have, they already had it in them.
Right.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because they already had that Gary mentality.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So it wasn't as difficult as people would think it was to actually coach them.
Right, because it would almost it would almost kind of be like trying to get someone with an inner city swag to portray a suburban swag believable. Whereas if you already got somebody from the suburbs, you can just kind of harness. You can take what they already are bringing to the table that fits your mold and just coach them and harness them to what you want them. That's interesting.
Exactly, because we had a lot of young women that auditioned that really just could not take the R's off the end of their words. So it was just like, you can't speak proper. You can't.
Right.
Okay. And believe it or not, some young women just could not do it.
Wow.
And that was a really big issue.
Got you.
Wow.
So I ended up finding my girls, and they're going to bring it.
I cannot wait to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to see this film.
Wow.
It's going to be fun.
That's very, very interesting and powerful in terms of kind of like relocating to get the best out of, the characters, character selection, to be able to bring forth the believable, because you know what you want. You're the writer, you're the director, you know the characters, so you know what needs to be portrayed, And so, you're every bit of.
I'm always doing what I have to do what I have to do.
Right.
To make this project successful.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And you know what? And that's believability. I mean, that is a top-notch criteria in any film.
Because people will rip it apart.
These critics out here will rip it apart, and it has to be believable. You can't watch the film and say, people from Gary, Indiana don't talk like that, you know, or that's not the way you hold the gun, you know what I mean?
They will rip it apart.
Exactly. It has to be authentic. So everything, from the weapons. So you already know my husband. So
I was about to mention that one. I know they holding the guns right in that one.
He works with the. Yes, he works with the girls, and he trained them with the fighting.
Okay.
So we have it down,
Nice.
So we're gonna produce the most, quality production.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, for all our listeners out there, we're talking to T.J. Chester, the super talented screenwriter. She's an actress, writer, director. She's an author. And her husband is Darrell A. Hervey, who we had on the show a couple weeks ago. Theatrical weapons training. I took the class. It was phenomenal. So we know these young ladies are holding these guns right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's going down.
Down.
Running with wolves. And look, we already know part 2.
I like the title.
I like the title too.
I like the title. Running with Wolves. I love that.
Love it. It's real catchy.
It is real catchy.
Actually real catchy.
Love
real
it.
Catchy.
And it fits. It fits.
I
It
cannot wait to
fits.
see this.
Okay, so I got to mention the mental illness part. Like I said, I had my degree in psychology, so I just love talking about that particular issue among the other ones that your books and your films bring out. But I guess my first question would be, what was it about the mental illness topic that made you want to speak to that, like in your books and in your movies?
Yeah.
Because people don't talk about it, and a lot of African American movies, you really don't see it in there either.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true. Absolutely.
So it kind of jumped out at me. You know what I mean? I like to kind of think outside of the box, or I like to write about what people don't write about.
Right.
That's good. That's real good.
And and that's there's a lot of course, things that can contribute to mental illness. There's hereditary, there's genetic, but there's also that environmental component. And you're talking about coming from impoverished areas, like you talked about with the African Americans. That's a huge component that plays a role in mental illness, along with the other characteristics. And so, it makes you sit and think, when you think about the impoverished African American community, it makes you think about odds. What are the odds of making it out of this and being successful when everything around me is, is positioned to make me fail, and falter? You know what I mean? You have the bad schools, you have the poverty, you have the mental illness, you have the teenage pregnancy, and it's all kinds of stuff. How can we make it out of that? And it's like your books and your movies are addressing these issues in a realistic way. In a realistic way.
And
it's powerful.
One of the characters, her mother was actually a junkie.
Okay.
So she suffered this mental and physical abuse, at the hands of her mother's drug dealing boyfriend.
Okay.
So this had this profound effect on her as a child and through her adulthood. And she's like a ticking time bomb. All three of them have some issues going on. But that one particular character, it really stands out with her.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow,
that's
awesome.
Very, very powerful. That's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful, man. And it's, that's one thing about screenwriters. We get to, tell stories. We get to tell stories to shape people's minds. Because if you haven't grown up in the hood and been affected, if you've never, been in an environment where the drug dealing is going on, where you hear about or have seen people getting killed, if you haven't grown up in that environment, you don't really understand.
And you can't play no character.
And you only can speak from it from a, a hindsight perspective, and there's no relating and or understanding. Once again, not excusing antisocial behavior, but if people's lives are being shaped by their environment, how can you expect them to behave any other way than what they've been shaped? Now, what I would like to add on the end of that, because Nikee and I are living proof that you can come out of the hood and you don't have to do drugs and sell drugs and carry guns. If good parenting is in place, you can get involved in sports. There's spiritual support in terms of church. I attribute those plethora of things why we didn't, I guess when statistics said we were destined to behave or fall prey to our environment, we didn't. So that's the hope that, we want to leave with people, because we don't want to just leave, so, well, they can't behave no other kind of way. Yes, if there's certain things in place, it can help that education, like you talked about going to Gary, Indiana, to get that realistic casting. I know one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to go to college outside of Philly because I wanted to get out of Philly. But you gotta want more than your surroundings.
And that's it. You have to want
more than your surroundings.
And could I add something to that?
You sure can. You go right on ahead, Miss T.J. Chester.
You know what? I was always taught, write what you know.
That's right. That's right.
And I, too, was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. I was born and raised in that same environment, and I came out of it too.
That's right. That's right. Write what you know.
For me, it was inevitable. Because I wanted more. Out of life, I wanted more.
Right.
But I also did forget where I came from.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I love it. So every bit of it.
You are an author of a plethora of books. And, you talked about how you got started writing. You talked about the urban fiction, component that's your specific bent. So for somebody out there that might want to say, hey, I'd like to write a book. I have a passion for writing. I have a story that I want to tell. What kind of encouragement could you give them, maybe to get on the path, or maybe want to know, well, how do I get started? I don't know where to start. What encouragement can you give somebody out there that would like to follow in your footsteps and write a book, and then eventually to have their book become a movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it also depends. So, do you have any writing experience?
Okay.
If not, I would suggest someone go to college.
Okay.
Take some writing classes, English classes. If you do have some writing experience, it's just you have to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "Oh, I want to write a book," but they won't sit down and write it.
Right. You got to start. That's the first bit. You got to start it.
That's number one.
It's not gonna write. It's not gonna write itself.
That's right.
Okay, so that's one. You got to be disciplined, and you have to know what you want to write about. You know what I mean? What type of writer do you want to be?
Right.
You want to write fiction, nonfiction? Some of these things you have to think about.
Right.
I don't know. That's about it for me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, if you want to write, you have to be serious.
Right.
And some people just say stuff like that just because they have a mouth. Oh, I want to write. Or just with actors, I want to act.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
You got to put in the work.
But then
you got to do it.
Exactly. They think acting is easy. Acting is not easy. It's absolutely not easy.
It's not easy. Trust us, we know.
As they say in church, well, it's definitely not easy.
You know.
And this industry isn't easy as we see.
No, it's not.
I keep telling people that the film industry is the most intricate industry to be
in.
Yeah,
it is nothing easy about it.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now, other than your film that you're working on, what else you got going on?
Nikee.
Yes, ma'am.
I have I have like 10 projects already done.
Look at that.
Already done. I didn't talk about my 219 television series.
Oh, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this thing.
Well, 219 is actually 219 and Running with Wolves is like a crossover spinoff concept.
Okay.
So what it is the concept, it gives the viewers of Running with Wolves a satisfying crossover episode experience. You know, the concept is a continuing tale of the story of the film to television. So we're using the same actors and the same storyline.
Nice.
So, and we just want people to know that these two stories operate in a larger story.
Okay. Okay.
So the pilot episode for 219 is going to be like a 2-hour season opener.
Okay.
So it's a continuation of Running with Wolves.
Nice.
It's 219. So the same storyline. So it's pretty interesting. Nobody's done it that we know of.
Okay.
Has done a movie and crossed over to a television series.
Nice. Nice.
Well, you could be the first. You could be the first one to do
it. That's right. You can be the first.
Absolutely. I am. For me, the sky's the limit. I have so many projects that I really want to get out there, but I have to finish this passion project first.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to be doing a lot of filming between now and the next 10 years or so. I have that many projects.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Now, what are your distribution wise? What are your platforms that you are looking to get Running with Wolves on? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the name alone is intriguing.
Yeah. It's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to catch. It's going to grab people. What is this about?
Right.
So, what kind of platforms are you thinking about?
Netflix for one.
Okay.
Netflix.
Okay.
And Roku, Netflix. Daryl has all these. He has all these other, because he does that work for me. You know what I mean? He does all the distribution stuff. But Netflix is the number one that we're working on religiously right now.
Nice,
okay, cool.
nice. Nice. I love it.
I would ideally like it to be at the theaters. It's not impossible.
It definitely is not.
No, she can.
Because the movie, when you see the movie, it could be at the box office right now.
Yeah.
But it has to be right.
Right.
Or what she can do is do what the late great John Singleton did.
Right.
Remember how he showed a few episodes in the theater, and then it aired on. Then the whole thing came on FX.
Right.
Yeah, he did that.
We actually do. Yes, we actually do have a couple of theaters over in Chicago that we're going to do premieres at. So we're going to show the movie at a couple of theaters there. We're going to be actually in Philly as well. We're doing a release there as well.
Yeah.
Well, let us know.
Atlanta.
Let us know. We are there.
Yep.
And we will not only come out and support, we'll cover the story as well,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love
Let us know. We're there.
Let us know.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we'll definitely put it out on the air and support that way.
We're doing like 6 cities.
Okay.
6 cities premieres.
Okay.
Yeah, she can do it just like John Cena did with Snowfall.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
did.
did.
On. Yeah, that's what he did.
He showed a few. He came out and had a big old premiere red carpet thing. And he showed about 3, 4, 4 episodes.
A couple episodes, yeah.
And then the cast came out and took the photo, the Q&A and different things like that. And then the rest of it came out on FX.
Yeah. And he did interviews. We had a chance to interview him on our show
and different things like that. Yeah, you can do a big old shindig. Yep. Yeah, sure can.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it is going to be big.
Awesome.
I like that. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah. Now, last question, because I noticed that you kind of use like the same cast. We see Tyler Perry do this.
Yeah.
I used to say what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You kind of use the same cast, like with your various different projects and things like that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I really don't want to do that. I have no desire to do that.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that?
Well, go ahead. You go, Nick.
Well, I like it because I can get in.
You can get it, but if you get in and stay in, it's a thumbs up. But I mean, my perspective. I mean, if I can put myself perhaps in the shoes of maybe the writer director, it's like you want people who you trust, what they're going to bring, and that you maybe perhaps even have relationships with. I mean, I'm all for being open for adding new faces to the cast as well, but we learned that this is like a relationship driven industry where sometimes you get in because you had a relationship, maybe not because you were like the best actor.
But sometimes that makes it hard for others to.
Right.
For others,
that's why I said I'm open to the new faces.
It makes it hard for others who are trying to get in.
Right.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever use a person that I use in Running with Wolves in another project 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible, but I'm just saying I wouldn't perpetuate it. You know, like every single thing I see, you see this one face there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, just to, as they say, play devil's advocate. What if the actor is the same person, but they're able to portray different characters such that the character in Running the Wolves is not the same as the character in, Wallflower 1. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some actors that can play different roles and it doesn't seem like the same person, or is it just that you're coming from a perspective that that's the same face?
Okay, so for me, I guess you're right. You got me, Kevin. I think it's the same face. I don't want to keep seeing the same face.
I got you. That's all right. And you know what? And you have the liberty as the writer director. You have that liberty because it's your movie and you wrote it and directed, and you know the flavor that you want to have to it and have with it. And so if Perpetual Faces takes away from that flavor, then you know that you have that right. I was just curious because I know that there's certain actors that can put on the same wardrobe and come off as different characters.
Right.
And they never look the same.
But 219, my series, there's an exception to the rule there because it's a crossover. So some of the actors are coming from there over to 219.
Got you.
Okay. So that's an exception for that.
Okay.
Well, look, when you the writer director, you can make the exception. That's how that goes.
I like new faces all the time. I love it.
And you know what? I'm trying to launch some careers too.
Yeah. That's
you know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You're trying to give people chances, opportunities.
Exactly.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, there's so many people here in Gary that they have so much talent here.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have the opportunity.
Got you.
I got
you. Yeah.
I love that. I love that because it's sometimes it is really difficult to break in to these, projects because like we talked
already made family.
We talked when we had Gary Pastore on our show. I mean, he's a legend, in the industry. Been in the industry for 35 years. He talked about how a lot of these major projects, the casting is already done beforehand.
Yep.
That's like 90%. Then you got the top 3 to 5 or the top agents. Then you got the next couple percentage with the lower agents, and then what's left over is background. I hope that you can get a specialty role. So how can you get launched to be that household name that you might desire?
Exactly.
But here's where T.J. Chester comes in.
Here's where she comes in.
Exactly.
Nice.
Because one of my girls, she does a lot of extra work over in Chicago on the Chicago shows.
Okay.
She does that's all she's ever done.
Gotcha.
She's never been given that opportunity to elevate.
Awesome.
This girl is hot, I'm telling you.
Until you can. Until you can.
That's it.
That's how that's going to go. Now, everybody going to see this girl's face.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you know what? All it takes is one person. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that one person. And
I just want to be
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I just want to be the person to give people a chance.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just going to say I applaud you for that because there's a lot of actors and actresses out there like ourselves who are hungry for an opportunity. And, Nikee and I, we had the opportunity to be in 21 Bridges. We were featured / seen in the movie. And, I was in the scene with, Keith David, Chadwick Boseman, and J.K. Simmons, Tiana Miller. They're all, the crime scene is out now, so we can talk about it. The crime scene where after the cops got killed. And so, of course, I was like background. I was thankful that, Nikee and I, we did make the cut where, you could see us visibly and definitively.
Really? Okay, I can't wait to see it.
So when it comes out on DVD, we're going to post the screenshots. And so the question I asked myself, because I was standing feet away from where they were saying their lines, I was like no more than at least 4 feet away on the curb while they were standing in the street. And I asked myself this question. What's the difference between where they're standing and where I'm standing? And you answered it. Opportunity. Because I believe, and Nikee believes, that we're just as good as anybody, and we can bring it just as good as anybody, given the opportunity. And I say kudos and applaud you for having the heart set. You're going through your own struggles trying to get the funding and this, that, and the other, and yet you got somebody else on your mind. Yeah, and you gotta get the bell.
She get the bell.
Yay!
Well, listen, you've been a phenomenal guest. You have. We're so honored.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we're honored to have had you and your husband on the show to share your profession, your expertise with us and our listeners. And as we always say, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee show,
your family.
Thank you so much, guys. I really love this opportunity just to get the word out. Yes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And before you go,
I haven't had a lot of support, but this is important to me today.
Yes.
This interview here.
Thank you so much.
Well, listen, before you go, put your social media out there. Put your websites out there. Maybe somebody in listening land. This show is worldwide. Maybe somebody might just find it in their heart to reach out to you and say, hey, how can I support your film? Yeah. Or maybe they just want to follow you, or maybe they would like to work with you. Put your social media out there, Facebook, Twitter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, my website is thenewblackent.com, and you can actually watch the movie teaser from there.
Okay.
And also the New Black Entertainment at Facebook.com.
Nice.
You can view some of the content there, and you can also view the trailer, the teaser, on there.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm on Twitter too under TJ Chester.
Nice.
And on Facebook, TJ Chester.
Nice.
TJ Chester on Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So if people want to get your books, what about you on Amazon? We know
Amazon. I am on Amazon. All 6 of them are on Amazon.
Nice.
Not one, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
But 6, baby.
Remember, LeBron was like, we going to get not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 championships.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've been working hard. I work hard.
We can tell. We can definitely tell. Yeah, definitely can tell. The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's going to pay off.
And it is. That's it. And it is. It is. Keep that faith up. It definitely will pay off. That's for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, continued success and blessings to you guys. Please say hi to your husband for us.
Yeah, y'all.
And any way we can support you, let us know. When y'all come to Philly, we are there.
Yes.
Just let us know. And continued success and blessings.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin and Nikee.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Man, wasn't she awesome?
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. Oh, my goodness. She got it going on. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
She got it going on. That was powerful. That was very powerful. I like how she said she don't, have that that circle.
Right.
She like working with different faces.
I like that.
I like that.
And I see both sides. I see see the, going with the same people. I see the benefits. It's benefits and it's pros and cons on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But you got to go with giving new people opportunity.
You gotta give us a chance.
Because there's people out here who are hungry, who will work hard and be ready and will bring it and looking for new faces. I would say for the people that do, the cattle moving, at least be open to bringing in some new faces. You know
at least be open.
Yeah, at least be open.
At least be open. All right.
So take a break?
Yep. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for News and Sports.
Scholar's professional editing firm consists of a specialized group of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process by providing one-to-one group mentorship and all-inclusive editorial services that produce writing advancements that result in exponential movement. The scholars conduct line-by-line editing, proof and copy editing, university-specific format, compliance, and substantive done-for-you services on the following documents: doctoral thesis, dissertations, capstone projects, research studies, research proposals, research papers, and oral defense preparations and presentations. Scholars Professional Editing Group. Keep you moving. For more information on editorial service or doctoral accelerated mentorship program, visit www.thescholarsedediting.com. That's www.thescholarsedediting.com or contact Dr. Hayes at 281-315-6053.
Yeah. Awesome sauce.
Sauce.
All right. So now it's time for news and sports.
All right. So in sports, in Houston, Valentina Shevchenko was doing a video interview with UFC Spanish after her victory at UFC 247 when a friend interrupted her. It wasn't just any friend though. The party crasher was Academy Award-winning Halle Berry, actress extraordinaire.
Yeah.
The two embraced, and Berry congratulated Shevchenko on her third-round TKO win over Caitlin Chukagian to retain the UFC Women's Flyweight title at the Toyota Center. The best fight of the night, Berry told the dominant UFC champion. Said by me. For sure, hands down the winner. Berry gushed on Instagram after Shevchenko's finish. My girl did that. Shevchenko and Berry developed a friendship last year while working together on Berry's MMA film Bruised. Shevchenko helped train Berry for the movie and had a role in it. Bruised is expected to be released before the end of the year. Berry watched Shevchenko UFC 247 fight from cage side, rooting her on. She also visited with Shevchenko in her locker room beforehand. It was a very special moment for me, Shevchenko said. Halle, she's an amazing person. I'm very happy that tonight she was here at the event. She came before the fight to wish me good luck, and it was like a very special feeling. Shevchenko told ESPN that she was incredibly impressed with how hard Berry worked for Bruised, training in mixed martial arts years before she started on the movie. Halle, I think she is an inspiration for all women, Shevchenko said. She is such a hard worker. I know that to perform in this role, she was training for 3 years before starting filming to know how to do MMA, how to box, how to move, and she is doing it great. Very good, a really good level. Good enough for Berry, 53, to fight in the UFC? Shevchenko would not doubt her. Who knows, Shevchenko said. You never know the mind of a person. I would say she can do it, yes. Before the filming started, we were training in New York. Each day we had 3 to 4 hours of training from start to end. No one time she went to rest or take a breath. We were working on our sequences. And when we start to film, it was 12 hours per day, nonstop fighting. And she was like doing so good and everything. I say she's really an inspiration for anyone. Shevchenko, 19-3, is one of the top women's fighters in the world. The Kazakhstan native has won 5 in a row, including 3 title defenses. Shevchenko, 31, has lost to only one fighter in her UFC career, Amanda Nunez, the current UFC featherweight and bantamweight champion. The star said she took particular motivation from having Berry there watching and cheering for her. This is what makes you think you can just go inside the octagon and do a regular fight. Shevchenko said, no, you have to give it the best of you. That's all I got in sports.
Nice.
And for those that don't know, the movie Bruised was filmed in Atlantic City in our area. And it's set to be released at the end of the year. And there were a lot of people from the Philadelphia area that had the chance to be a part of that movie. So we're looking forward to that coming out. And we're going to keep you guys posted. But congratulations to Valentina Shevchenko.
Nice.
I had to read it like that because she actually talks like that because she's from a different country.
Nice. Yeah. I like it. I like everything about it.
Yeah, man. That's who I was rooting for.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yes. I was rooting for Valentina.
And what an awesome guest to have in the crowd, Miss Berry herself.
That's right.
Yes.
Halle Berry.
Love it.
That's
Love
it. That's a lot of inspiration right there.
That's a lot of inspiration.
No wonder she knocked out in the 3rd round. You know what I mean?
No wonder. Halle Berry here. Boom.
Boom. You can't lose with Halle Berry sitting there watching it, man.
For real. No, you can't. You can't.
You know what I mean? Especially if she came all the way to come see you.
That's right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
You got to pull off
right. That's right.
Congratulations to Valentina. Continued success to you. And we're looking forward to the feature film.
Yes.
Bruised.
Well, in news, Gayle King is coming under a lot of fire. Man, listen, let me tell you something. And I guess a lot of people, I guess that's what they want to do to her. But they wasn't happy with that interview that she had with Lisa Leslie. Yeah. And she talked about Kobe Bryant, and then Lisa Leslie was a little blindsided about that. Mm-hmm. And the question that she asked Lisa was about Kobe's sex life.
Right.
Like, how is he? Lisa was like, I ain't got nothing to do with that,
Yeah, I watched the interview, and I think that Lisa Leslie, she handled the question very well. Of course, Gail wanted to delve into his negative past in terms of alleged charges that eventually got dropped and things like that. And Gail was going on to say, well, it only got dropped because the girl refused to testify. And Lisa Leslie was like, when he was alive, y'all had plenty of opportunity to ask him that. And since y'all didn't, we just need to leave it at that.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you said last week, Nick. Why do people have to point out the negativity about someone? And then especially in death. And then what you talked about the week before, when you kind of mentioned about we as the media have to act more responsible when tragedy strikes, because these are people's family members.
Yeah. Because, he's no longer here. And the first thing you go to, well, remember when he...
Right.
What you bring that up for? That thing was dropped.
Right.
So why are we going there?
Yeah.
And that's like the only thing they can talk about.
Right.
That's the only thing that everybody keep bringing up.
Right, the one blemish.
But I'm going to tell you right now, though, people will fry you. Oh my God, they will fry you. And what's his name? Snoop Dogg was on fire. He was highly upset. I mean, everybody was highly upset about that interview. But the one thing that got my goat is when she said to Lisa, Lisa was saying, she's never known Kobe to be like that.
Right.
And she's never seen Kobe like that. And she said after we go out, we would go out and different things like that. Kobe was never the person to be like, hey, you see that girl over there? Now, she said... She was like, I know a few other basketball players who would do that, but not Kobe. And Gail was like, but you don't know it because y'all friends.
Right.
And she was
she kept going back to the negative, kept digging,
And Lisa was like, I do know it.
Right.
He's not like, that is not the type of person that he is. He does not be like, I want her right there. He don't do that. But man, I'm telling you, they tore in the poor Gail. Yeah. Gail said, I was up until 5:00 in the morning looking at these tweets. Yeah. I mean, they were tearing fire into her. Yeah. They were not happy with that interview whatsoever. And more so, they weren't happy with the fact of how she tried to bring Lisa in.
Yeah. So, and like kind of almost to say, we're talking to Kobe's friend, give us the negative scoop, but Lisa didn't bite the bait.
No, and they praised Lisa for how she handled herself, and they praised her for how she was like, what she said about Kobe. The man is gone.
Yeah, let me say this. I'm going to say this about Lisa Leslie, who I had a chance to meet when I was in high school. I played, when I was senior year out of Mass Bomb, I played in the joint effort All-American Basketball Classic in Colorado. Lisa Leslie was on the women's team, and I had a chance to meet Lisa, hang out with her, because afterwards the girls and the guys got together in one room. We was all playing cards and all that stuff. She's a very classy woman.
Yes, she is.
Very, very classy woman. And I had an opportunity to run into her some years later. Yeah. It was years and years later down 40th Street. She was in the Baskin and Robbins with Tony Massenberg, who used to play with the Sixers. I tell you how long ago that was. And I went in there and I said, "Excuse me, Tony, hey Lisa, you might not remember me, but I played on the joint effort All-American boys team. You was on the girls team." She was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And she's a person that is a combination of class and elegance. And she handled that interview with exude and represent her with class and elegance. And I'm sure afterwards she might have felt like saying a few curse words, but she handled it with class and elegance. So kudos and shout out to Lisa Leslie for handling it.
And I'm just going to say this. Y'all, listen. Y'all can chew me up. I don't care. I'm going to stand by what I'm going to get ready to say. If a man says to me, "Hey, Nikee, I want you to come up to my hotel room so we can talk," why we got to go up there?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we? I know what time it is.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
I know what time it is. I know what's going to go down. Why am I going to bypass the lounge where we can talk and go up to a room?
And we don't even know if Kobe said that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, don't nobody know what happened but him and that girl.
And then here's the flip side, you know, just, you know, given, because we try to give balanced answers. Okay, so you had the allegations.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the woman didn't testify.
Right.
Things got dropped.
Right.
But just to flip the coin on the other side, did nobody stop to think that it is a reality that there are women out here that are trying to suck these NBA players, these NFL players, these singers, like that happens every day.
Every single day. Every day.
And here's the thing. Because Kobe has pretty much, to the exception of this that I know of, he's had like a spotless reputation. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say is that Nike is big on like your reputation and how you carry. Like you can't be in bar fights and all that kind of stuff. And Nike gonna continue to endorse. Because remember, he lost his endorsement. He eventually got him back.
Right.
But Nike don't play that.
No, they don't.
Once they were dropped, Nike then he got his endorsement back.
Right.
But what I'm saying is nobody stopped to think that it was at least possible. We don't know. That could this have been an example of the many gold diggers out here that could have been trying to suck him in as it goes on all the time.
And it does.
Like that was a possibility.
And
was a possibility.
We don't know. But as a woman, we have to, what I want to say is we have to be smarter.
And be more responsible.
You know, and like you said, be more responsible. You know, ain't no going up to nobody's hotel room and I just met you. No.
Right.
Ain't none of that. We can sit at the bar and we can talk there.
Right.
But if you journey up there by yourself, you know what's going to happen. You know, you know what he calling you up there.
Yeah, like, you know, like if a
you
man
gotta use your head.
Right.
Women, we just gotta be a little bit more smarter, you know? We have to be smarter. If you don't want nothing to go down, then don't go. That's how that goes.
And then also, I think that, you know, just once again, bringing balance, these athletes have to be smarter too.
And the athletes got to be
smarter too. Because you have to understand that you are going to be a target. You got a lot of money. You're in the public eye. You're going to be a target, you know. So we don't know what happened that night. Only them two know. And where it stands, it was dropped.
So
and as Lisa Leslie said, it needed to be left at that.
Left alone. That's
Y'all had plenty of time to interview and ask Kobe when he was alive. We need to leave it at that and celebrate all the good that this man has done in society and for kids and for what he brought to the game and the legacy that he left on the NBA and all those he inspired who are having and living better lives. Joel Embiid is living a better life because he was inspired by Kobe Bryant to pick up a basketball. And so it reminds me of the black dot on the big the black dot on the big white handkerchief. That black dot does not represent or tarnish his legacy or him in any kind of way, shape, or form. We don't know if it happened or it did happen. If it did or didn't. So we can't comment one way or the other. You know what I mean?
And that's why SAG-AFTRA was like, we are stopping all of that. You want to have meetings, you have them in public places.
Right.
You know, SAG was like, ain't no more of that.
Right.
You know, after, you know, the Harvey Weinstein thing, it was like, no. We're cutting it. We got new clause and new laws in line. No more. You got to have it in your office. Have it in a public place. No more hotel meetings. And I agree with that because look at what's happening. You know what I mean? Look at what's happening. So it's crazy. So, you know, she, like I said, she was torn apart and she tried to get, you know, Lisa to come in with her and Lisa wasn't going nowhere.
We got to give Gail a come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on. That's it. That's all I got.
That was good. That was enough.
That's it. All right. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for
what's bothering Nikee. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. I was lunching.
You were lunching.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
Yes, Maya Angelou.
Yeah. We hope you guys are enjoying the sound bites of African Americans as we celebrate Black History Month. So last week we did Kobe, sound bites from Kobe Bryant. This week we're doing Maya Angelou, and we thought that it would be fitting for our special guest as well.
Absolutely.
But I got to give credit. My dad recommended the.
Yes, he did.
My dad recommended Maya Angelou. So we, we like to give credit where credit is due.
That's right.
We ain't trying
That's
to
right.
Yeah. All right. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikee. I wasn't lunching that time.
Yeah, you weren't lunching, but we still going to talk about them crabs, though.
We're
still on them crabs, baby.
Part 3?
This is crabs part 3.
That's part 3. Let's go, Nick. Let's go.
Part 3. We're going to talk about them crabs. We still got crab behavior going on. And crab behavior number 3 is, why do we bring people into our mess? Why, children? When we going to do something, why we always got to bring somebody into it? We going to rob a bank. I'm getting ready to get Snooki and Pookie in there. We going to ride his bank. We going to beat up some girl. Keisha and Denisha, we going to ride. We going to beat up this girl. Why do we have to bring people into our mess? When we do something, why can't we just do it ourselves? So we mess up everybody else's lives by bringing them into it. You know what I mean? Like with Gail. Gail tried to bring in Lisa into the mess that she was talking about with Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Lisa wasn't having that. Why do we need company?
Yeah.
When we got drama going on.
Right.
Why is that?
They always want to go get somebody, go pick somebody up, go call somebody and invite somebody to get in them on this,
Always got to bring somebody along and messing their lives up too. I've seen it too many times, because you were there. You're driving the car. You going to jail too. Or you're sitting in the car. You knew about it. You going to jail too. Why? If you're carrying out that crime, do it by yourself.
And we're not promoting doing crime by any stretch of imagination, but you get the point that Nikki's trying to make in terms of bringing people into your mess.
Yeah.
So we're not condoning any kind of criminal or antisocial behavior, but she's saying that to drive home the point.
Yeah. And the point is, you going to do something, do it alone. Do it by yourself. Leave everybody else alone. That's you. We don't need to be a part of that.
Right.
You don't need no entourage to go to jail. You know what I mean? You don't need nobody going to jail with you. That's your thing. You want to go beat up somebody, go beat them up by yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't need nobody to do that. You want to talk about somebody, you know, talk about it by yourself. Don't bring everybody else into your mess and have them coming down right along with you. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Use a crab. Right. Stop it. That's it. That's all I got. Short, sweet, to the point. Use a crab.
That's
Stop
it. We ain't got to say no more.
No more.
All right, moving right along. Y'all got it, crabs?
Y'all got it, crabs. I mean, you see it too many times. Every time I turn around, it's somebody. It's a whole group of people. Everybody going to jail.
Right. And
it's just one person who started it.
It's orchestrating everything.
Yes. Yeah. One person. Now you're responsible for everybody else sitting behind bars with you, or getting beat up. How about this? Getting beat up right along with you.
Right. Now y'all in jail. Now all y'all part of the chain gang. Singing that song.
What chain gang?
You know the chain gang. They gotta sing while they
That's the
fixing
sound of the men working on the chain gang.
Now all y'all singing.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. But you see it all of the time. All of the time. You get ready to do something. You gotta call up some. Hey! I need you to go with me to do this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. Leave them people alone. That's you.
And then on the flip side, don't go along with them. Have some courage to be yourself. Have some self-respect, self-love to say, "Nah, dog, you go ahead."
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the other part of it too. You got these people be like, "Oh, dog, that's a good idea," and you follow right behind them. Now you in jail singing the chain game with everybody.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, don't call me because I screens my calls. I screens my calls, and I know when you calling, write the voicemail, and I don't check that voicemail for a few days.
And you know what? Don't call me because I'm going to answer it on speaker at the police station. I'm like, y'all hear this?
Listen, by the time I call you back, the deed is done. I ain't got nothing. And listen, don't leave me a voicemail. You leave me a voicemail, I will play it in the police station. I'm telling you right now.
Police station.
I'm telling you right now. This is it right here. Listen to this. Boop. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. Leave me out of it. Listen. I am the worst person because I will tell on you so fast. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. Now you know how they say snitches get stitches. Well, guess what? I will snitch. I'm a snitch. I'm gonna tell you right now. She did it. He did it. I'm telling you. Y'all don't want me with y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I will snitch on everybody. I'm gonna
put it like I ain't going to jail for nobody.
That's it.
Don't invite me. Don't call me. Because I ain't going to jail for nobody.
Listen, I'm telling you.
All this street code, where you supposed to take this on the chin and all that old stuff. Nah, I love my life. We love our lives. And, you know, we want our lives to count and matter for something positive and, like, not going to jail because somebody else is, you know. And you know, even with that street thing, it really ain't no friends. No. You know what I'm saying? If you was a real friend, you wouldn't even invite somebody into your mess. And
that's it right there. If you were a real friend, you wouldn't call up somebody else for your mess. I agree with that 100%. I ain't taking nothing on the chin. I'm taking it right down to the cops. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to do with it. So, you know, come on, crabs. Stop. Do your own, okay? Leave everybody else out of it. That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
See how we just rolling through this thing?
Except we rolling.
We rolling.
What the Transformers?
Transformers. We rolling.
Roll out. Rolling. We rolling.
Man. All right, so you know what? We're going to take another break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner. We're learning how to operate on a high vibration. When you have crab behavior, that's a low vibration. Okay, we gotta start operating on a higher vibration. Stop bringing people in your mess. How about you stop doing it? How about that?
Yeah, that's even better.
That's it.
I love it.
Poem for a woman who rides a bus in New York City. She's a maid. She has 2 shopping bags. When the bus stops abruptly, she laughs. If the bus stops slowly, she laughs. If the bus picks up someone, she laughs. If the bus misses someone, she... So I watched her for about 9 months. I thought, Now, if you don't know black features, you may think she's laughing. But she wasn't laughing. She was simply extending her lips and making a sound. I said, oh, I see. That's that survival apparatus. Now, let me write about that to honor this woman who helps us to survive. By her very survival, Miss Rosie, through your destruction I stand up. So I used the poem with Mr. Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem, Masks, and my own poem for old black men. Mr. Dunbar wrote Masks in 1892. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It shades our cheeks and hides our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts, we smile and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh my God, our tears to thee from tortured souls arise. And we sing, hey, baby, we sing, hey, oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world think otherwise. We wear the mask. When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke, a dance that's walked, a song was spoke. I laugh so hard, I almost choke when I think about myself. 70 years in these folks' world. The child I works for calls me girl. I say, yes, ma'am, for working's sake. I'm too proud to bend and too poor to break. So I laugh until my stomach ache when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laugh so hard, I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit, but eat the rind. I laugh until I start to cry when I think about myself and my folks and the little children. My fathers sit on benches. Their flesh count every plank. The slats leave dents of darkness deep in their withered flank, and they nod like broken candles, all waxed and burnt profound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission that made your world go round. There in those pleated faces I see the auction block, the chains and slavery's coffles, the whip and lash and stock. My fathers speak in voices that shred my fact and sound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission, and that made your world go round. They laughed to shield their crying. They shuffled through their dreams. They stepped and fetched a country and wrote the blues in screams. I understand their meaning. It could and did derive from living on the ledge of death. They kept my race alive by wearing the mask.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
All right.
That mask.
Yeah.
Everybody got one.
Yeah.
Everyone has a mask.
Yeah. That's powerful. Mm-hmm. She was powerful Maya Angelou, late great, legendary Maya Angelou. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
All right, we're going to keep the high vibration train moving. We in week number 44. Wow. We're going to look at characteristic number 71 and 72. And the first one is you're able to handle failure. Failure is defined as an absence or lack of success. In life, it is inevitable that we all will fail at something and or lack success at something, but it is how we bounce back, get up, which is most important. So how do we respond? How do we move forward? Which brings me to characteristic number 72, the second one. We're able to turn failure into success, and here are 7 tips that we can use to help us. They are, but not limited to, embrace our emotions, our feelings about it.
Okay.
You know, because they're real. You know what I mean? You don't want to pretend and or wear the mask. You know what I'm saying? So embrace your emotions, your real feelings about, you know, the failure. And then recognize unhealthy attempts to reduce the pain. You know, we all have coping mechanisms and how we deal with pain, how we deal with failure. And, you know, it's imperative that we recognize things that, what they call, they're called unhealthy attempts to reduce the pain, but oh man, it's going to come to me. Oh man, I can't think of the term, but basically it's attempts that we use to deal with something, but in essence, it's hurting ourselves. As a term in psychology, it's escaping me at this moment. And then practice healthy coping skills. Acknowledge irrational beliefs about the failure. Develop realistic thoughts about the failure. Accept an appropriate level of responsibility in the failure if it applies. And then research other people that have failed. You know, and I like how Michael Jordan says in one of his commercials, he said, he talked about how he's missed so many game-winning shots. Of course, we always see him hit. He's hit most of them, but he's missed a lot of them. But he said, I failed over and over again. That's why I succeed. That's all I got.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I fail over and over again. That's why I succeed. Yeah. I love that. You know what? You got to get it. This series is just on point. It's just on point. And I'm telling you right now, you guys are loving it because I see the comments. I see the comments. Yes.
I'm glad that it's helping.
It's helping.
It's helping people.
It's helping.
As they say in church lingo, that when you deliver the sermon,
you know what?
The sermon is first for you.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's where it starts. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, so that's all I got, man.
All right, Pastor. Put it out there.
All right, man. We hope you guys are enjoying the Black History Month sound bites.
Yes.
We had the now late great Kobe Bryant. Last week we got Maya Angelou this week, and we're going to be bringing you some all month.
All month.
So definitely tune in. And thank you so much for tuning in each week. We do what we do for you. We can't do what we do without you. You guys are our motivation, encouragement, and inspiration. As long as y'all keep tuning in, we're going to keep bringing y'all these hot show, hot guests, hot music, hot sound bites, hot topics. What's bothering Nikki's Kevin's Corner.
Yes.
And our fiery introduction. It's time for the Kevin and Nikki Show.
Hallelujah.
But I'm actor Kevin D. Benton. You can find me on Twitter at Kevin D. Benton, Facebook Kevin D. Benton, Instagram actor Kevin D. Benton. Find us on YouTube, actor Kevin D. Benton, actress Nikki Warren. Check us out.
You can find me on Facebook, Nikki Warren, on Twitter at Nikki Warren, on the gram. Hello, I'm Nikki. That's the only one that's different. That's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. You can find our show, The Kevin and Nikki Show, on Facebook, at Kevin Nikki Show on Twitter, and The Kevin Nikki Show on the gram. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for following us on Instagram. Truly, truly, truly appreciate it. We're going to bring you a lot more on Instagram, so we thank you very much for, following us on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, KevinNikkiShow@yahoo.com. You have any questions, comments, concerns for our special guest,
TJ Chester.
Hit us up on the KevinNikkiShow@yahoo.com. We'll read the answer. We'll read the question to her, get the answer, and read it on our show. And like we say every week, who knows? Your letter can be featured on our show. Listen, we're having an awesome time, and I know you're having an awesome time with us.
Yes.
Keep on listening, because we're going to keep on bringing
it. That's right.
That's right. And that's it.
All right.
That's it. That's all you got?
That's it. It's the Kevin and Nikki Show on iHeartRadio. We are everywhere, and we are
out of here.
Peace.
maybe the hardest part is if you teach, you have to live your teaching. You can't say, you do not as I do, but do as I say. No. You have to say, I'm doing my best to live what I teach. I have a painting by Phoebe of a group she calls Sister Suki's Funeral. And all the women, there are about 9 women, and they all look like women in my grandmother's prayer meeting group. So whenever I'm obliged to do something, I take that painting and I look at that painting. There's an empty chair. And I think, now, what would Grandma do? What would she say? I can almost hear her voice say, now, sister, you know what's right. Just do right. You don't really have to ask anybody. The truth is, right may not be expedient. It may not be profitable, but it will satisfy your soul. It brings you the kind of protection that bodyguards can't give you. Try to be all you can be, to be the best human being you can be. Try to be that in your church, in your temple. Try to be that in your classroom. Do it because it is right to do. You see, people will know you, and they will add their prayers to your life. They'll wish you well. I think if your name is mentioned and people say, oh, hell, oh, damn, I think you're doing something wrong. But if your name is mentioned and people say, oh, she's so sweet, he's so nice, oh, I love, oh, God bless her. There you are. So try to live your life in a way that you will not regret years of useless virtue and inertia and timidity. Take up the battle. Take it up. It's yours. This is your life. This is your world. I'll be leaving it long before you under the ordinary set of circumstances. You make your own choices. You can decide life isn't worth living. And that would be the worst thing you can do. How do you know? So far. Try it. See. So pick it up. Pick up the battle and make it a better world. Just where you are. Yes. And it can be better, and it must be better. But it is up to us.
You have been listening to The Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
There's nothing better than summer at Whole Foods Market. So much of their gorgeous fresh produce is in season now. Grilling with friends and family? Serve animal welfare certified meat. And sweeten up the situation by tossing sliced pineapple, peaches, and more right on the grill. Watermelon works too. Whole Foods Market works closely with suppliers, including local farmers eager for you to try their stuff. When you're ready to cool off, choose from their wide variety of cold-pressed juices, kombucha, cold brew coffee, or even buzzless mocktails. Be healthy, be happy, be whole at Whole Foods Market.
Dad is the smartest guy you know, so give him a gift that's just as smart. Like a battery-powered smart doorbell from Google Nest that lets him see what's happening at his door and answer it from anywhere. The Google Nest doorbell is now on special buy for only $129.99 and works on any home. Find the best and smartest gifts for Dad. Feels like Father's Day at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Offer valid through June 19, 2022 at participating U.S. stores and online. Limit 5 per customer.